Have you ever noticed that in the brightness of the city lights, you can't see the stars? In the noisiness of cars and chatter, you miss the birds. Underneath your fingertips, a constant scroll that never ends. You lose yourself.
Away from the city lights, mindless chatter and never-ending tasks, there is a place. Away from the bustle of society, away from school and technology, there is a place like nothing you've experienced before.
This place is free from judgment, full of emotion, enriched with learning and filled with love.
This is the place where you can find yourself. A place where friendships are formed. Not by the commonality of the clothes you wear, which school you go to, or how you look, but by the commonality of the values you share.
Here you find a place where you belong.
A place where friends become family.
A place where days are filled with laughter and the coldness of the night is warmed
by the fire in your heart.
At this place, you meet real-life heroes. You have to get lost to find yourself. Under giant trees, you find your calm.
This place is new and foreign,
yet oddly familiar. This is the place you've been looking for.
The place where you feel more alive than ever before. This is the place where you truly do belong. This place is Camp Hero.
Zero to Hero is a WA-based not-for-profit dedicated to increasing the understanding of mental health issues and the awareness of mental health services among children and young people through innovative programs, events and education. Each year, our programs reach over 100 WA high schools, 80,000 people, and train hundreds of school leaders in suicide prevention skills. Our programs and initiatives aim to educate, engage, and empower young people to become mental health ambassadors and leaders in the community. We believe that through communication, mental health problems can be effectively dealt with and suicide can be prevented. We envision a world where every child and young person is educated and empowered to effectively deal with mental health issues, and mental illness is dealt with openly and treated as a normal part of everyday life. Our approach is centred around supporting young people by offering a hand up rather than a hand out, and this is evident in everything we do. We believe that in order to increase mental well-being and prevent suicide in the community, we must shift the conversation about mental health from a young age. We must design and deliver our programs to suit the needs of the young people we are working with. This ensures a greater impact on the participants we work with. Our programs aim to unleash the heroes of today to become the leaders of tomorrow in the campaign to promote good mental health throughout their communities. The issue we want to solve. Suicide is the leading cause of death for Australians between 15 and 44 years of age. 75% of mental health problems are formed before the age of 25. 45% of Australians will experience a mental illness in their lifetime. More than 80% of young people reach out to a friend when they are struggling. What we do. We educate young people about mental health, mental illness and suicide. We engage young people in open conversations about mental health in the aim to eliminate stigma around mental illness and suicide and increase help-seeking behaviour. we empower young leaders to become mental health heroes. The Zero to Hero impact. 22,000 students are educated every year. 150 young leaders are trained each year in suicide prevention. We work in 100 WA high schools every year. We currently have a camp alumni of over 600. Camp Hero is a unique mental health and leadership program that complements existing school and community services within the mental health promotion space. The Camp Hero Mental Health Leadership curriculum has been designed to develop students' leadership potential within the area of mental health and to empower them with the necessary skills to overcome the challenges associated with the physical, emotional, and social development of teenage development. The program provides young people with a space to discover who they are and what they value. Camp Hero educates young people with the skills necessary to support their peers and are skilled in identifying the warning signs of mental illness and how to support those in need. The 5 pillars of Camp Hero are self-awareness, physical health, mental health, challenge, and community impact. Self-awareness. Students are encouraged to investigate their personal abilities, strengths, and limitations. Through identifying personal qualities and emotions, students will be able to develop a grounded sense of self-knowledge and self-confidence. The development of reflective practice and self-awareness is an integral component of relating better to oneself, as well as the foundation for successful relationships with others. Physical health. Physical health is necessary to develop student understanding around mental health and well-being. Students are empowered to take action to manage their mental health by learning about the critical links that exist between mental health, physical activity and nutrition, and brain development. Mental health. Students develop the practical skills necessary to manage their own mental health and well-being and to support that of others. They develop an understanding of the impact of physical, social, and emotional health on well-being and the importance of destigmatizing mental illness in the community. The content includes student participation in an accredited half-day training workshop called Safe Talk. Mentors are encouraged to participate in this workshop. Challenge. Students are encouraged to develop a growth mindset by participating in a variety of activities designed to challenge them physiologically, behaviourally, emotionally, and socially. They work collaboratively in small groups, engaging in conversations around diverse perspectives, and develop the leadership skills required to empower themselves and each other. Facing and overcoming challenge is a key component in acquiring resilience and improving self-confidence. Community. After reflecting on their learning, students create an action plan to promote the mental health and well-being of a particular community in which they belong. They are encouraged to recognise their role as community leaders. At Zero to Hero, the term mentoring describes a relationship that supports young people during a learning or developmental journey. It's about reflecting, encouraging, and supporting students to make the most from their Camp Hero experience. Mentoring is about mutual trust and respect. It is a two-way relationship. You both get the chance to learn new things and further your personal development. A true mentoring relationship is a mutually beneficial learning experience where the mentor shares their personal knowledge and experiences and promotes a self-discovery approach to students. A mentor should provide an outside perspective, listen confidentially to the thoughts and feelings of the student, help by sharing their own experience of both failures and successes, give friendly and unbiased support, be a sounding board for ideas, inspire the student to realise their potential, be enthusiastic and encouraging, and show patience, tolerance, and be caring. A mentor is not a best friend, a personal counsellor, an academic advisor, expected to carry burdens that will impact them personally, or an expert on everything. A mentor does not give advice, provide a counselling service, provide coaching to students, sort out a student's problem, or take the responsibility for a student's success. We believe that there is no perfect way to mentor. Each of you will come with a unique set of personal qualities that will impact how you mentor. Mentoring is a new experience for many, so be realistic with the expectations you set for yourself. We trust that you already have the skills to succeed. We do not believe in being overly prescriptive in setting out the ways in which you should mentor. It is preferable that the mentoring relationship you create with students evolves naturally over the course of the program. There are some fundamental skills that will help you develop your unique approach to mentoring. Active listening is an essential mentoring skill and can help you to ensure that you understand the message the other person is trying to communicate. Active listening involves engaging students mentally, giving non-verbal feedback, silently analysing, and questioning information. Elements of active listening. Focus all of your attention on the speaker. Avoid or ignore distractions. Respond and give feedback to the speaker. Be aware of any preconceptions or judgments you have about the speaker's topic or the person. Let the speaker finish. Don't interrupt. Encourage the speaker to keep going. If required, ask for clarification to ensure that you are interpreting them correctly. Clarify your understanding of the message and encourage further discussion with reflective questions. Active listening in action. Reflecting and clarifying thoughts. Reflecting means sending back a person's message to help an individual clarify if the content of the message is accurate. You can ask a person, "I heard you say, is that what you said?" Or, "So you're saying that?" Or, "So the problem is?" Or, "It sounds like." Examples of questions which require a greater length of response and greater thought. Can you give me an example? What are your reasons for? What do you want to do about it? Effective questioning. Open-ended questions cannot be answered in just one word and will help you to encourage conversation amongst your mentees. Using open-ended questions will help you to find out more about what your mentees are thinking and feeling. Examples are, "Can you tell me about?" "How do you feel about?" "How did you solve this?" Embrace diversity. Students come to Camp Hero with diverse perspectives and experiences. Here are some tips to acknowledge this diversity and create more open and meaningful dialogue. Embrace and celebrate the differences between students. Avoid assumptions about another person's experiences or circumstances. Do not judge on the basis of your stereotypes and preconceptions. Avoid stereotyping language and language which excludes people. Safe sharing. Mental illness and suicide affect millions of Australians, and it can be a triggering conversation for many people. There is a likely possibility that some students may have been personally affected by mental illness or perhaps have lost someone to suicide, and we must ensure that these subjects are discussed in an informed and responsible manner. According to the evidence-based guidelines collected from the Mindframe National Media Initiative, we must be mindful of the following points when sharing stories involving mental illness and suicide. No direct or indirect reference to a place of an attempt or death. Do not share methods of self-harm. This has been linked to an increase in self-harm and suicide using the same method. Do not glorify medication, drugs, or alcohol as treatment. No language that implies that taking one's life is a good way to deal with life's challenges and issues. No language that creates shame or guilt. Please do highlight the importance of accessing help and support. Please do highlight the importance of looking after yourself. Instead of saying committed suicide, say died by suicide. Instead of saying successful suicide, say suicided. Instead of saying completed suicide, say ended or took their own life. Instead of saying failed attempt at suicide, say non-fatal attempt at suicide. Instead of saying unsuccessful suicide, say attempt to end their own life. Talking about suicide and mental health can have an impact on your physical and emotional well-being, especially if you have a lived experience or have been exposed to these issues in some way. It is your responsibility to assess your own readiness to participate in Camp Hero and to regularly check in with your own mental health whilst in attendance. Here are some tips for self-care and maintaining boundaries during Camp Hero. Don't make student problems your problems. Don't do for students what they can do for themselves. The mental role is one of being, not doing. Be aware of your own limitations. Keep track of your emotions. Ask for support from Zero to Hero staff. Your mental health is a priority for us. Take some time out if you need, and seek support from your co-mentor. Camp Hero is a safe space for students, and their privacy and confidentiality must be respected. To provide support for mentors and mentees, information may be shared in confidence with members of Zero to Hero program staff only. Any information exchanged between mentors and mentees where there is a concern about a student's behaviour or well-being must be shared with Zero to Hero staff. All information will be managed in strict accordance with Zero to Hero's child protection policies. Please familiarise yourself with these documents, which are located within your Mentor Induction Handbook: the Child Protection Policy and Responding to Suspected Child Abuse Policy. To maintain student trust and program integrity, the camp facilitator will inform students of these confidentiality agreements and the limits to these at the beginning of the program. Zero to Hero programs are designed to meet the learning needs of all students. We believe that it is crucial to acknowledge the diversity of all young people, while affirming the impact of this diversity on students' social worlds. All organisations, including ours, have a responsibility to ensure learning opportunities are relevant and meaningful to the lived experiences of its participants. Camp Hero is inclusive of all people, regardless of ethnicity, gender, or sexuality.